Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and I wanted to thank my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Well, I decided that I was going to do a video on maybe a slightly controversial topic. Slightly controversial. And sorry about the background noise. You might have heard probably, I don't know, one of those big trucks with the huge tires. I don't know. But yeah, something just went past my home. But anyway, I decided I was going to do a topic that was slightly controversial. I was going to do something on a natural remedy, but that will be coming in an upcoming video. But this morning, when I first got up, after I'd gotten up a little bit later, I checked my phone, and on YouTube, I noticed there was a video from the ruler of Qatar. Qatar is a country on the Arabian Peninsula. It's on the Persian Gulf, and it has been ranked. I don't know if it still has that ranking as the richest country in the world. Well, I saw a video, and later my friend over at Turkenia Lifestyle did something about the World Cup. And so I saw this video, and I decided, why don't I take this video and make some commentary? Now, I thought the video was actually recent, but it's not. It was made several months ago, I think back in May, so I'm a bit late. And the thing is this. I'm not a sports fan. Now, if I were a sports fan, I would likely love what we Americans call soccer, but for the rest of the world is football, which it actually is. It is actually football. It's the true football. So certainly football or soccer would be my preference. And probably after that, ice hockey. I have been to an ice hockey game before, and I actually enjoyed it. But anyway, getting back on topic. So, I'm not a sports fan. I don't even care for American sports. But I actually saw this clip and it caught my eye. And I said, even though it's old and I'm just starting out new on YouTube, why don't I make some commentary about it? Now, the World Cup is going to be held. It's like the biggest soccer match in the entire world. Okay. And most Americans don't care much about World Cup. They're more into NBA and National Basketball Association and American football, but not what we call soccer. But the World Cup is big internationally. I mean, all the countries play in it and everything. So it's really a huge event, a major world event. And so the World Cup this year is going to be held in Qatar, and it will be starting from November the 20th, which is on a Sunday, and ending on December the 18th. So it goes on for almost 1 month. Now, Qatar is a country, like I said, on the Arabian Peninsula in the Persian Gulf. Now, what I was going to say, and I'm checking my notes because I tend to ramble. I'm sorry. So I actually saw a video, and it was by the ruler of Qatar, which is Sheikh, let me get his name right, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. Okay, he's a 40-year-old ruler. He's 40 years old, and he's the ruler of Qatar. And he made a press conference apparently back early. It's at least in May. I don't know whether the time stamp on the video was actually correct or not, but I saw it this morning, and I decided I want to make some commentary about it. So I'm going to stop right now and then show the clip, and then we will come back and I'll make some. I'll come back and I'll make some comments about it.
And concerning the World Cup, you said you're looking forward to the German guests. Are you also looking forward to homosexual German guests, or do they have to stay home?
Listen, everybody's welcome in Doha. We do not stop anybody from coming to Doha with any different backgrounds, any different belief. Qatar is a very welcoming country, and the World Cup is a great opportunity for people from different parts of the world to come and experience our culture. We will not stop anybody from coming, visiting, and enjoying the football. We all live in one planet, but each of us have different cultures. We welcome everybody. but also we expect and we want people to respect our culture.
All right. Well, what do you think? Myself, I admire the man for his calmness, his sophistication, his intellect in answering that question. It was such a gotcha moment, but he defeated that journalist. Of course, there's going to still be, naysayers, and they'll bring up, human rights in Qatar and this and that. And they'll always look at the negative side, because they, it's just there are just people like that. They're just not going to respect you no matter, how well put together or your behavior or your response is going to be, or, how, none of this. They're just not going to accept it. But I have to admire the man. And the problem that we have here in the West, and it's been a problem for a long time, and this is just a different phase of it, is thinking that we know more, than everybody else. Our way of life is better than anybody else. We're better than anybody else. And another thing is we tend to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because in the West, there is the belief in the constant progression. Anything that, that's more than 30 years old now at this point is out of date and needs to be forgotten, and we move forward, and we don't do that anymore. Okay, we leave all of that in the dust and just keep going down the road, and that's it. That's how we see it here in the West. Now, I don't personally, because I was raised in a traditional way, and in many ways, I was the way I was raised and the way I was taught was a lot like people in so-called Middle East, West Asia, Africa. I was taught that way, despite the society that I lived in, and the environment and all that. But a lot of the people in this world, they really want to they value tradition, what is traditional marriage, what they call traditional marriage, or, of course, in some of the countries like Qatar, some people are polygamous, but polygamy goes back to the Bible. I mean, what we call the patriarchs, Abraham, more than one wife. Jacob, Yaqub is the Arabs call it, 4 wives. King David, Daoud, several wives. So all this, and we just think that because we are a certain way, everybody else has to be that way, and they don't. They don't have to be that way. We have 2 political camps in my country, liberal and conservative, and I'm politically disenfranchised from both, because their approach is just not, I feel, the right approach. So I really appreciate what he said. That would be the kind of response that I would want to give. I don't know if I could have did it as calmly as him, but just getting fired at the way that reporter did, I really applaud him. But yes, the response that he gave reminds me so much of 2 responses I got from 2 Turkish people, or rather, one I didn't get it. I got it not from a response, but actually a statement from 2 Turkish people. The first time I went to Turkey in 2004 as a tourist, our tour guide said similar thing. He was saying that in Turkey, we're willing to adopt new ways, but we also want to keep our traditional ways as well. We want to preserve them. The last time I was in Turkey in 2015, 2016, I believe, I was invited by one of my students to visit her school where she taught. And so we visited the primary school. I went there with some of my Turkish colleagues, took me there. And I met the principal, and through a translator, he was saying that people are welcome to Turkey, but they need to respect the culture. That everything will be fine as long as you respect the culture. So yeah, now of course, in the kind of culture and the mindset that a lot of people have developed here in the United States, that might have been seen as a bigoted response, as racist, as he thinks he's better. Who is this Muslim? He thinks he's better than me, whatever. Who does he think he is? I didn't see it that way, because I very much believe in the preservation of cultures, that people preserve their culture, because in a big part of the world, here in the United States, skin color is like what people judge a lot of things by, where in the larger world, it has more to do with culture. And the culture thing is much stronger than the superficiality of somebody's skin color. It really is. It's a very powerful thing. And and cultures need to be respected. But so I'm going to end here and leave comments in the chat box, and not in the chat box. I'm used to my job, but leave comments and leave your comments. Leave a comment and tell me what you think about what the Emir Qatar said. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with him? Do you disagree? I agree with him 100%. If I'm a bad person, I'm sorry. I would love to visit Qatar one day. I really hope so. I have a friend that lives there that's an artist. So, Qatar, I admire I'm not a big skyscraper or city lover, but I just like Qatar's skyscrapers. They're so innovative. They're so different from anywhere else. It's so amazing, the architecture there. So different from everywhere else. And I said, well, maybe it's because these places have ancient cultures and the thinking is just different from here. So anyway, I'm going to end. Thank you for viewing my video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I hope to talk to you very soon.